What is up, everyone? How's it going? Hope you're keeping well, and welcome back to the FPL Era YouTube channel. We are back for the new season. I did enjoy the break, but I am glad to be back, and with less than 2 weeks to go until the GW1 Deadline, it's time to show you how my current draft is shaping up ahead of the deadline. We've lots to discuss. Let's get into the video. So before we get into the video, if you're new around here and this is your first time watching one of my videos, first off, welcome to the channel. But here on screen are some of my best ranks across some FPL seasons. We've got one top 9k, one top 11k and two top 16k ranks. So if you like what you see, please do head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. We're trying to hit 10k subs and fingers crossed we can hit that this season with your support. So here we are, let's get straight into it. Do drop a like on this video and do let me know in the comments what you make of my current lineup, and as always, drop a comment below if you have any questions ahead of the GW1 Deadline. So starting off in goals, I go on Sanchez for some Chelsea defensive cover to start the season. To be honest with you, in every draft I've made so far, Sanchez has been every one of them, so he's pretty much a lock-in ahead of that GW1 Deadline. When you compare him to the likes of Cucurella, priced at 6 million, he offers a cheap route into that Chelsea defence and also a safer route, as Chelsea have a lot of defensive options and Sanchez has secured that #1 spot. Chelsea do have some decent fixtures to start the season, so that's why I do want some defensive cover. We all know with Sanchez, he does have a mistake in his locker, but I have been impressed with him in the Club World Cup and also in the final against PSG, who made a few vital saves in that game. With 10 clean sheets for Sanchez last season, I'm expecting to push on from this, and that's why he's in the team. Moving on to my bench, I'm currently looking at Dubravka as my second goalkeeper option, priced at 4 million in the game. He is currently with Newcastle, but he is heavily linked with Burnley, so if he does make that move to Burnley, he'll be a 4 million goalkeeper playing in FPL, so he's a perfect bench option if that move goes through. I know a lot of managers are looking to use a bench boost in Game Week 1 to get the chip out of the way, but if Dubravka does make that move, it'll be the perfect option to bench boost in Game Week 2 as Burnley face Sunderland at home, so I'll be looking to bench boost with Esteve and Dubravka in the team. If Dubravka doesn't make that move to Burnley, we also have a 4 million option in Ken Darlow of Leeds. I know Leeds have signed a new goalkeeper in pre-season, but he hasn't been deemed fit as of now, so there is a big chance Ken Darlow does play in Game Week 1, and if he does, I could be tempted to bench boost then also. Moving on to my back three, we're starting off with Virgil van Dijk. We all know Liverpool faced Bournemouth on the Friday night of Game Week 1. Bournemouth haven't been looking great in pre-season so far, and even their manager admitted this, so I'm expecting Liverpool to get a clean sheet in this game. However, after Game Week 1, they faced Newcastle and Arsenal in Game Week 2 and Game Week 3, so I'm not very confident of some clean sheets in these games. However, from Game Week 4 onwards, Liverpool have some very favourable fixtures, so we'll be looking to have a Liverpool defensive asset in these games. So getting Van Dijk in to start the season saves me a transfer down the line. And going with Van Dijk, it also offers a safer route into that Liverpool defence. I do expect Kirkis to start the season in that left back role. However, there's some stiff competition from Robinson there in that position and similar in that right back spot. I do expect Bradley to start the season, but Frimpong has impressed in pre-season. There's just too much competition in the left back and right back spots, and that's why I'm going with Van Dijk. Looking at my second defender, I'm currently eyeing up Nico Williams from Nottingham Forest for a cheap route into that Forest defence. He's only priced at 5 million in the game, which I think is great value. 0.5 million cheaper than Murillo and Mikalenkovic. He does take some set pieces for Forest also, so he has the added bonus of some attacking returns. And we all know Nottingham Forest kept the most clean sheets in the league last season alongside Arsenal. And with some nice fixtures to start off the campaign, I'm eyeing up clean sheets in those Brentford, West Ham, Burnley and Sunderland games. So I'm expecting him to start off the season well. Looking at my last defender, in my starting 11, there's plenty of 4.5 million options in the game. I'm looking towards Fulham's Anderson, and this is where we begin to chat about defensive contribution points. This new addition to the game is one where I think Anderson can thrive in, and I'm happy enough to have him in that starting 11 where he can pick up some potential 2 extra points to start the season. He also rotates well with Dorgu of Man United in Game Week 3 when Anderson faces Chelsea, Dorgu faces Burnley at home, and then in Game Week 4 and Game Week 5 when Dorgu faces Man City and Chelsea, Anderson faces Leeds and Brentford at home. So that's why they're in my team. Dorgu has impressed in pre-season so far, picking up a goal and an assist against Bournemouth. He probably should have came away with an assist last night against Everton where he should have squared it to Højlund, only that he took the shot on himself for the keeper to save it. To be honest with you, I don't mind that greediness at all. It's good to see as an FPL manager, and fingers crossed he can come away with a nice return in Game Week 3 when I sub Dorgu in for Anderson when he faces Burnley at home. We've already talked about Esteve and a potential bench boost in Game Week 2 if Dubravka makes that move for Burnley, but Esteve completes my back 5 and that's a defence out of the way. Moving on to my midfield, I've opted for a 3-5-2 formation and I've gone with two premium assets in Mo Salah and Cole Palmer. Starting off with Mo Salah, he needs no explanation as to why he's in the team, and he offers the perfect captaincy route for that Friday night fixture against Bournemouth in Game Week 1. There is some worry amongst FPL managers whether or not he's going to be able to perform like he did last year with that premium price tag. All I'll say is get Mo Salah into your team. FPL is not an enjoyable game when you don't have him. Next up was Cole Palmer, and similar to Mo Salah, he needs no explanation as to why he's in the team. He's just off the back of an impressive Club World Cup, and I'm expecting him to do well with some nice fixtures for Chelsea to start the campaign. He wasn't himself at all for most of the season last year, but with those fixtures for Chelsea, I'm expecting him to get amongst returns. We then move on to Liverpool's new signing and new number 7, Florian Wirtz. He's impressed so far this pre-season, picking up a goal in his last game, and he has been playing in some very advanced positions during their pre-season games. We all know Alexander Isak is heavily linked with a move to Anfield, so we need to see how that move plays out before the start of the season. Looking at that Bournemouth game on the Friday night of Game Week 1, I do expect Liverpool to get a few goals in that game and Wirtz to be involved amongst the returns. However, looking at Game Week 2 and Game Week 3, they face Newcastle and Arsenal, so Wirtz isn't fully locked in my team, but I need to consider Wirtz is going to be on set pieces and corners with Trent out the door for Madrid, and then from Game Week 4 onwards, Liverpool has some very nice fixtures, so I might just keep Wirtz in from Game Week 1 and hope he can get some nice returns in Game Week 2 and Game Week 3, and then have him for the favourable fixtures from Game Week 4 onwards. We then move on to Everton's Ndiaye as my pick of the 6.5 million midfielders this season. He's looking very likely to be on penalties for Everton, and Everton will be looking towards him to be their talisman this season, as David Moyes had some comments before the start of the Man United game last night where he wasn't very impressed with Betta's pre-season, so I'm expecting Ndiaye to be Everton's main man to start the campaign. I am keeping a close eye on Crystal Palace Sarr as another potential 6.5 million midfielder, as he has been impressive so far in pre-season. Ndiaye gets the nod for now as he has that bonus of being on penalties. However, if he doesn't start the season off well, Crystal Palace face Sunderland at home in Game Week 4, so I can always make that switch, getting in Sarr for that fixture. Malin of Aston Villa completes my 5-man midfield, and he's arguably been the man of pre-season so far, picking up a goal and 3 assists over Villa's pre-season games. He's priced at 5.5 million in the game, and I know a lot of FPL managers are looking towards Anderson of Nottingham Forest as an alternative 5.5 million midfielder, as Anderson would be good for defensive contribution points. But looking at Malin, if he continues on with this form, he's going to be an absolute budget pick and a gem. And will he be the new Morgan Rogers? Let's wait and see. Ollie Watkins and Jared Bowen complete my starting 11, and starting off with Ollie Watkins, similar to Malin, he's been in fine form during Aston Villa's pre-season games, picking up 3 goals so far. Looking at Aston Villa's fixtures to start the season, they've got a nice run of fixtures, so that's why I'm looking to double up on their attack. And also the good thing about Ollie Watkins is his flexible price tag. He's priced at 9 million in the game, so if the likes of João Pedro, Mateta or even Chris Wood start off the season well and Ollie Watkins isn't performing, I can always downgrade Watkins and bring in one of these players. As we all know, there's no real major standout striker in the game this season, and I've had different strikers in each of my drafts, but Jared Bowen gets the call beside Ollie Watkins in my current setup. Looking at Bowen, he's been in good form as well during their pre-season, picking up 2 goals and an assist, and I'm eyeing up that Sunderland game in Game Week 1 for a nice return from Bowen. Similar to Ollie Watkins, Bowen has a flexible price point at 8 million, so if the likes of Mateta, Chris Wood or João Pedro all start the season well, I can easily downgrade Bowen and get one of these strikers in. Moving on to my bench, Mark Guiu completes my 15-man squad. He's just after making his move from Chelsea to Sunderland on loan. He's priced at 4.5 million in the game. If he does start that West Ham game in Game Week 1, and if Dubravka makes his move to Burnley, that should lock in my bench boost in Game Week 2. I'm happy to announce that the FPL Era YouTube Prize League is back this season. First place will get themselves a Premier League jersey of their choice for the 26-27 season, and second place will get themselves a random jersey from my own collection. To enter, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel and make sure you're following me on Instagram. Shout out to Shane Goodwin on screen here, who was last season's winner. He finished 335th overall, which is some achievement, and with the fact he was living in Galway, I have to make sure I deliver the jersey in person. The code to the league is on screen here. Make sure you get entering, and best of luck for the season. So that's how my current squad is shaping up ahead of the Game Week 1 deadline. Do let us know in the comments below if you would change anything with my current setup, or if you have any questions in the lead up to the Game Week 1 deadline. As always, please drop a like on this video, and if you are new around here, head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. We are on the road to 10k subs, and with your support we can get there this season. We have plenty more content coming up during this pre-season, so stick around for that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.